Uh, Good afternoon. It's great to be here for the first time in the Gold Coast. Thank you very much to the team from RRS and for all of you for being here. So we're going to change track a little bit. We're going to Africa. We're going to go and talk about big copper deposits. And we're excited about what we're doing in Namibia, looking for copper, undercover, and very pleased that we've got a recently announced partnership with South32 who are going to fund us into this next stage of our exploration. So the Kalahari district is, within the last 3 years, gone from no production to 90,000 tons of copper production, and that's looking like it'll double again in the next 3 or 4 years. Importantly, Sandfire managed to buy the Mateo deposit from Julian Hanna's Mod Resources. From Julian's first hole into the Mateo deposit to exporting copper out from Botswana through Namibia took just 7 years. So really important for looking for those areas where we can get copper production quickly and exciting new districts that will develop further things. It's a sedimentary copper style deposit, and they're going to be one of the most important sources for copper as we go forward. The world's been dominated by large porphyry copper deposits, mostly out of South America and the Ring of Fire, but Kamoa-Kakula proves exactly the potential that these sedimentary copper deposits have. 130 years after copper was started to be mined in the Central African copper belt, the biggest has been found. It's moving to be the second largest copper producer in the world after Escondida. And they continue to keep finding more and high-grade deposits. We haven't got time to really go into the shortage of copper, but just to leave with you that so far in the history of man, we've mined 700 million tons of contained copper. It's estimated that we need 1.4 billion tons more by 2050. So we've got to make significant new discoveries and get them into production quickly for the world's electrification. So Noronex have built up a very strategic position in this new developing copper belt. We're on the Namibian side of the belt. These new deposits at Kuperik and Sandfire are in Botswana, but very strong geological similarities go across the border into Namibia. We started with a small resource at Witflay, which we'll talk a little bit around. We've managed to pick up 100% owned new applications that have been granted, and just last year we got 45 meters at 1% copper equivalent in some of our very recent drilling. So this is an aeromagnetic image. We discussed before how we can use the magnetic signatures of the rocks to help us on the geology. From here you can see in Botswana the major discoveries that have been developed over in Botswana and how that system continues some 500 kilometers to the west over to our Witflay project, where we've got 10 million tons at 1.3% copper. Those are the same style of chalcocite hosted in sediment copper deposits. And between there's probably 400 kilometers of cover, sand cover of the Kalahari Desert, but nowhere have we managed to see anywhere where it's deeper than 100 meters. So exploration across that area is very, not saying easy, but it's very doable, and we've been doing some significant work over the last couple of years since the company floated. So this is the project that we've got South32 interested in. These are the new areas claimed over the last 18 months or so. We can see the contact between the red bed sandstones, which are blue-coloured, and the more magnetic Dakar formation, and along that contact we find the mineralization. So using this, we're able to target pretty well into the most prospective area with high-grade copper. And we've found copper across major parts of this belt. We're also looking at some fairly new models from the Central African Copper Belt to look on the basement highs. It's where Kamoa-Kakula is, but where there are other styles of basement-hosted copper deposits, and we're going to be looking at those. We've started gravity work with the funding with South 32, and we've got the rig turning up in the next 3 or 4 weeks. And we're going to go out to the Fiesta project, which is where we had that intercept late last year. There's about 4 kilometers here of highly anomalous copper that's been hit in drilling, and it's a large, extensive sheet of mineralization, and we can see potential in a number of zones to find a very significant project there. We're doing gravity at the moment. We're looking at specific geological structural targets, and we'll have the drill rig in there within the next 3 or 4 weeks. So you can see Fiesta there. That's the sort of 4 kilometers at the western end of this belt where there's anomalous copper. We're also going to go up to the more northern part of this belt where you can see the more magnetic anomalies. They are part of the basement, where the basin is overthrust over the basement margin, and that's a setting in the Central African Copper Belt where there's some very large deposits, such as the Lumwana deposit. So we've got gravity crews out there at the moment. We'll hope to have the rig out before Christmas, testing into some of those magnetic gravity targets, which are typical of these style of deposits. That area has never had a single drill hole in it. From water bores, we think it's going to have between 50 and 80 meters of Kalahari sand on top of it, but exciting to be able to put the first holes in on the edge of a major copper belt to look for a different style of mineralization. And one of those has been some of the things that have driven South 32 to invest. At Wittflay, there's 10 million tons of 1.3% copper across 4 deposits. Those are all constrained within open pits, chalcocite, near surface, and with great infrastructure. We started work on there 2 years ago, and in our first drill program, testing a number of soil anomalies, we hit 27 meters at 1.6% copper. So while we're focused on the really big ones with South 32, we're going to start doing some more work on developing this one up and getting up to a feasibility type studies and find more. We really feel we need to double this to get it up into an economic stage. We've also picked up some uranium projects. Obviously, Namibia is world famous for some huge uranium projects which have been running for many years, like Rossing. And through our contacts and the excellent team that we've got in Namibia, led by our exploration manager, Rian Kazandunge, we've managed to secure this Atango North area. I was out there a couple of weeks ago, and we've got some now access there. The ground has had environmental clearance, and we're looking to start work on the ground, looking for hard rock, Alaskite-hosted uranium mineralization along strike from Bannerman's Atango deposit. The company has now got the support of South 32 to aggressively explore through the copper. We've got a very attractive enterprise value. We've only got a 6 million EV, an experienced board, and a very good team over in Namibia, led by Rianne. So our catalysts are South 32. It's been fantastic to have that support. It's been tough raising the money to really do justice to this fantastic land holding. And so we're looking forward to keeping the drill rig turning for as long as we can. We've got the gravity survey crew out there at the moment. We're drilling planned, as we say, in the next few weeks. We've also got a strategic alliance with South 32 to look for other opportunities in the base metal space across all of Namibia, and we've got a number of other opportunities that we're looking at, and we're hoping for support on those. We're selling one of our small resources away from Witvlei and Dordabus, and with that funding we'll do our uranium exploration. We have a project in Canada and value in some of our other projects within Namibia. So focused on Namibia, focused very much on finding something large and getting the drill rig out and turning. So thank you very much for listening, and it's great to be here.